foundations for tonight were formed or established really in 1962 in February, when 60 very young and callow youth of Australia joined it together to form the 1962-63 year at ASOPA, the Australian School of Pacific Administration. This was a fairly big move on everyone's part, and they were all quite excited about it because New Guinea was regarded as a dangerous place, and you had to be different to make an application for a cadet education officer's course. And it turned out to be that way. What an interesting group. And we varied from Christians, serious Christians, to those who spent a lot of time in the Mossman pub. 2 years we shared and got to know each other very well, and it was pretty clear to us that it was a special group. But we didn't realise how special until 40 years later we decided to have a reunion, 40-year reunion. And because we had some friends down in central New South Wales, we decided that that's where it would be. But we were 5 people. The Mossman pub group decided that we would get together for that. In this particular town, Port Macquarie, was Col Booth, and he heard about it and decided that he wanted to be part of it too. And Keithy Jackson, who has ears everywhere, realised that there was something happening up there, and all of a sudden it became not the Mossman pub club, but the 1962-63 reunion, and that's what in fact happened. A big percentage of the group managed to make it to Port Macquarie and had an absolutely marvellous time. So much so that we decided we needed to have another one in 2 or 3 years' time, and Keith Jackson, Dubbo Kesby and Rod Hard got together and made sure that we got back to our old alma mater at ASOPA as part of the next reunion, which was held in Sydney. So good, we decided we had to have another one, and we decided that this time it would be Brisbane. So the Brisbane chapter started meeting 2 years out from the date, which of course is tonight in October 2007. Discussions about how we could at least match, if not better, the previous 2 reunions, suggested all sorts of things, and then we thought maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to have the year before and the year after us join us, so it would be a 3-year ASOPA reunion. It wasn't too long after that we decided that we'd make it open slather, and what a great suggestion that was, because the night that you're now going to see is the culmination of all of that work, and what a wonderful weekend it has been.
Grand midwife was the Minister for External Territories, a bloke named Eddie Ward, who once said of Menzies that he enjoyed a glorious military career interrupted only by World Wars I and II. It seems hard to believe now that ASOPA existed for just 25 years until at the end of 1972 it evolved into the International Training Institute under Territories Minister Andrew Peacock. Of course, Keating once said of Peacock famously that he was a souffle that couldn't rise twice. But unfortunately on this occasion the souffle puffed up just enough to take ASOPA out of action. Transient though it was, ASOPA played a major role in the development of Papua New Guinea and the Northern Territory. Its role was to provide people and professionalism for what was a tough task in a pretty testing environment. For us though, ASOPA has an additional and more personal significance. Those old weatherboard huts down on Middle Head represented a place that offered comradeship and a sense of direction. ASOPA shaped careers. It provided enduring memories and friendships and indeed sometimes marriages. Indeed in a later incarnation of ITI it provided a place where my wife Ingrid and I met and we were married. What had been ASOPA. And as Henry Bodman said, in a flicker, an unusual flicker of glorious inspiration, can anyone find a time in recorded history when heaven came as close to earth? We've gathered in Brisbane this weekend, in part to celebrate that history, only in part, but accordingly this evening's program will provide a context for our collective experience. I hope the flood of recollection will be totally overwhelming. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Dick Arnold, who's been the bagman for this glorious enterprise. I want him to come up here now and welcome you on behalf of the Brisbane Organising Committee, and let me name them: Henry and Janelle Bodman, Colin Huggins, Bill and Diane Boland, Dennis and Ross Burrell, Joe and Catherine Payne, Bill Wellborn, of course, Dick himself and his wife Josephine. Dick was a 61 Sofitel. He left P&G in 76 as a senior lecturer in teacher education. Yes, at Flintshire. And he's worked with adults with intellectual disabilities for a long time in Queensland with the Endeavour Foundation. Dick retired 4 years ago, but still tutors kids at a local primary school. Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Arnold from the organisation.
Thanks, Pete. I know what you're thinking. It's been 2 months for it. It's gone over the edge. But it's not true. It's a legacy from Richard Pearce, I think. He said you've got to get everybody's attention. Welcome to the Cadet Education Officers for Sofitel Reunion. This is a fabulous occasion. I'm overwhelmed, really. It's very emotional. The Queensland chapter of the Sofians has been working towards this weekend for many months, as you'll be aware. We've bombarded everyone with emails, phone calls. And no matter how much thought and effort we directed towards this project, it would have all come to nothing without the massive support we've received from everybody here tonight. Thank you, it's been terrific. Tonight, we're all equals. To achieve this status, I have the pleasant duty of promoting everyone, ex-cadet education officers, SOPA staff, partners and friends, to the position of Honorary Director of Education. Now, wait for it. This appeals on two counts for me. I've been a CEO, a cadet education officer before, but never the CEO of a huge organisation. I've made it, right? And the second point that I found more appealing was it saves me from the unpleasant duty of having to demote the Unidata kid down to my level. A special welcome to non-chalky partners and friends who have joined our celebrations this weekend. You most definitely are part of this unique gathering. I've got a philosophy that I call my carpe diem philosophy. This weekend, like life, should be a journey to the grave with the intention of not be a journey to the grave. Okay, the old bugger has lost it. So it's not the intention is not to arrive safely in an attractive and well-preserved body, but rather you're sliding sideways, chocolate in one hand, wine in the other, right? Body's thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and you're screaming, "Woohoo! What a ride!" Right? Okay, that's my philosophy. Now I've got a plea to the younger brigade here tonight. Please don't let this be the last such gathering of chalky Asopians. Don't let that happen, please. A sincere and heartfelt welcome to this gathering on behalf of the organising committee. And finally, this may seem odd to some people, many of my heroes, younger, same age and older than I am, are seated before me this evening. Heaps of them. I should like to salute you as a class once saluted its speech. Captains, my captain,